Welcome back to Weather Nation. We are taking a look at a tornado warning that is active near Kabul this morning. It continues through 3:45 a.m. and is all along a line of some pretty intense thunderstorms sweeping across this region. If you're located in this area near Kabul, near Mountain View, even just north of West Plains, we are talking about the threat for some tornadic activity with this strong rotating, potentially thunderstorm moving through the region. But thanks for tuning in. Meteorologist Marcus Walter here with the forecast. Again, we're starting out with this tornado warning. It's been active for at least 40 minutes already. We saw it issued initially before 3 a.m. and now it's continuing through 3:45 a.m. Central Time. If you're located in this area, again near Kabul or Houston or even over toward Sherrill or Salem, we are talking about the threat for a pretty intense storm moving through your region. Now, we do want to give you a little bit of a track on this storm because these storms have been moving toward the north and east at about 50 miles per hour. So we'll track this storm in particular, the tornado warning one, moving toward the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Again, cities like Sargent, within the next 10 minutes, we're talking about this storm potentially passing by you. Raymondville, we're talking about that in the next 20 to 30 minutes. And again, this is a radar indicated tornado warning. So the radar is picking up some type of spin in the atmosphere. But when you look at other parameters that measure spin, you notice one thing we like to look at is shear rate because it measures spin in the atmosphere. And we don't see a whole lot across this region. And that may be a sign that, again, it's just weak rotation associated with thunderstorms starting to collide with one another, those winds more or less starting to approach each other and creating some type of spin in the atmosphere. And so you can typically get that when you have a line of thunderstorms moving across the area. And that's definitely what we have here. As I zoom out, I'll show you that we have an intense line of storms that stretch from parts of Missouri also into northern Arkansas. And I'll also put the lightning on just to indicate, okay, yes, we are seeing lightning strikes anywhere from Troy down through Rolla, down through Houston, and again across the tornado warned area into northern parts of Arkansas. So this may be just a quick spin up situation, but we've been seeing this alert extend. So we may continue to see, again, some of these really brief spin-ups in the atmosphere that may or may not produce a tornado. At this point, this one is not confirmed, but again, we do have a tornado warning because of radar indication, radar measurements of spin in the atmosphere. And again, I mentioned one of the variables that we look at is shear rate. That gives us an idea if we can actually pick up some type of spin in the atmosphere. I'll take off some of the lightning just so you can see. I'll even take off some of the warnings. And what we're noticing here is nothing too impressive. This is the area where we're noticing a little spin potentially here, a little spin potentially here, but at this point it's not too impressive. So again, we are not very confident that there's a tornado down here or anything like that. But again, because these storms are moving through and because it is tornado warned, we want you to be aware of this threat. So with that being said, if you are in any of these areas near Kabul, near Mountain View, if you're near other places, for instance, like Houston or Licking or Salem, any of these areas pretty much right here along the path of this storm, we want you to make sure you are not near windows. We want to make sure that you are able to get to safety. Make sure you stay away from windows. Do not go outside at this hour because, again, we have some pretty intense storms moving through. Now, to give you a wider view, I showed you a little bit about the warnings that are in place, that tornado warning that's in place across parts of southern Missouri. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in place across northern parts of Arkansas that will continue through about 4:15 local time. So this is really the main area this morning that we're dealing with severe weather. On top of that, I'll switch over a different product and put the storms into motion just so you can see how these storms have been moving over the past hour or so. They've been moving in from the south and west toward the north and east, and as they have done so, those alerts have been extending farther to the east. So this is one part of the storm that we're definitely keeping an eye on, and I want to keep an eye on it too because I think I may be noticing some type of potential bowing taking place. So I'll stop this here, and I'll make sure that I draw what I think is potentially some type of bowing, and that typically happens when you have really strong winds moving in behind those thunderstorms. So this may be a situation, those strong winds colliding, helping to trigger potentially some tornado warnings, in particular the one that is out there now this morning. So definitely be aware of the threat, but just to summarize, we'll stop this for you. That way you can see it. We'll put the warning back up. 3:45 a.m. That's the ending of this tornado warning. It may extend a little farther into the future. We will stay on top of this throughout the day, so make sure you stay tuned to Weather Nation. But again, we have this tornado warning out there this morning. Be safe and stay aware of what's happening. We'll be right back with more updates.